Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. So I watched a video recently from Twins Inc. About confronting the RWBY toxic fandom with other RWBY YouTubers involved. And I watched that video, and it was a quite interesting discussion that they did. Now, there's a couple YouTubers in that specific video that I do not like for my own reasons, but I'm not going to get into the individual because there's only one in there that I actually knew that I don't like. That to me is not that good of a YouTuber for her business practices. But we're not going to get into that because I've already given my piece on that before in the past. But I would like to talk about what they were saying about the RWBY fandom being toxic. Now, for you guys that are watching this video, that are subscribers to my channel, not the new people that haven't seen my channel before, okay, most of you guys know that you probably know me more as a Dragon Ball Z YouTuber, more than a RWBY YouTuber or a fictional fight YouTuber. Even though that's not really what my channel was originally designed to be about, but that's what most people have pretty much quantified my channel as. Now, as personal experience from the toxicity of other fandoms, because I don't believe it's just RWBY, as far cry from it, for toxicities on the fandom. I do believe RWBY's is the most polarizing, and that's quite saying a lot, considering that I am a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, and obviously when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, there's a huge divide between the fan base, between the dub and sub, Dragon Ball Z dub and Kai dub, and the Falconer score and the Japanese score. And as you guys know, if you guys have been following this YouTube channel, you know I am a huge defender of the American Falconer score as well as the original Dragon Ball Z English dub over Dragon Ball Z Kai, as well as the sub version, obviously, since I am a dub version. I am only a dub watcher only, anyways, to begin with. But with RWBY's fandom, it doesn't go in a toxical war between the productions of a dub and a sub and an American score versus a Japanese score. The fandom goes into this war between how it should be written, what should be written, and what should have been done better, and other stuff that has divided the fan base. And this is really the talking point of this. And quite frankly, I have seen it on social media. I try to, as a matter of fact, I actually just stopped probably talking about RWBY on Twitter. If you notice, I try to like not talk about RWBY on Twitter as much as possible, because I don't want to get in a, how to say, Twitter argument with someone, you know, especially if it's a keyboard warrior, as I like to call them, that doesn't really know anything and just wants to get a rise off my opinion. So I want to show this because, you know, you get this whole talking, which Twin Inc. had said on her video, you know, where she actually showed pictures of RWBY merchandise that she had to basically prove that she was a fan of the product. Because people, I guess, were accusing that she wasn't a fan. So, yeah, I want to just show this. And this. And this. And this on my wall. Right above the Attack on Titan thing. So with that being said, yes, I am a RWBY fan. So I just want to make that abundantly clear to some people that are going to watch this video and think, now, some of you guys have watched my reviews in the past. I have come in between, you know, sometimes I do episode reviews, sometimes I don't, sometimes I take off. This is mainly not my decision, okay? And this is one thing that I think was lacking from Twins Inc.'s video, was the Rooster Teeth aspect of this. So, Rooster Teeth, okay, they, as a company, have not made it easy for content creators like myself and other people that I know are RWBY fans that want to make reaction videos and or other things, but their videos get demonetized or they get blocked by Rooster Teeth, and this also causes friction in the fandom. One of my good YouTube friends who made a video about this subject, DFX, Nigik DXF, had made a video addressing this, about how his video always gets blocked every time he tries to do a reaction video. And then it usually takes like 3 weeks before one episode will get unblocked, okay, from being able to be viewed. So Rooster Teeth as a company alienates the audience, okay, for reactions, for reaction content creator. And I just want to say this right now. If you are a content creator that does reaction videos, okay, and you've had no problems with Rooster Teeth on this issue, that's fine. I'm not trying to go after the YouTubers that have been successful with Rooster Teeth and, you know, doing their reactions and their videos being immediately monetized and whatever. That's not my gripe. My gripe is for other people that are getting screwed, okay? Now, as you guys know, last year, I tried to do a reaction video after Nayik had made a video on this issue. And you all know that I instantly got a community guideline strike from YouTube. And it was quite interesting because I did it right when everything was coming up. And it was very bad timing, and it was very suspicious. Now, of course, I've had my run-ins with YouTube before. YouTube had said when I messaged them that this was a Rooster Teeth thing, which was weird since it was a community guideline strike, which is supposed to come directly from YouTube. So again, there was a lot of issues, and there was a gray area with that one. But nonetheless, it still happened. It still pissed me off, because now I forever have a warning community guideline strike thanks to this issue. And YouTube still has not given me any real details on the matter, other than what I have just told you. Which is another problem I have with YouTube, because they have driven me crazy the past several months with a lot of fabricational statements that they have made. But that is another issue on YouTube's end, and that's not what I'm talking here. I'm talking strictly about RWBY, so we're just going to get into that here. So that is one of the biggest issues with the RWBY fandom that really annoys me. But it's more on a company perspective because this is straight up top for Rooster Teeth. Now, I know some people that are watchers of my videos will probably point out that, yes, Death Battle, I have made videos on Death Battle. Everybody knows that I don't like the way they operate, their research. I have criticized them a lot in the past. Ben Singer had me blocked for a year. We all remember that. And he did unblock me eventually, but not until we made that video. We made that video about the whole Captain Marvel versus Android 18 where he made a mistake on it and he apologized about it, and then we made a video talking about that, you know, how it was pretty obvious and whatnot. And then, like, within 30 minutes after that video came out, he unblocked me on Twitter. So, coincidence? I think not. Whatnot. It's whatever. But again, I really don't want to try to stir this off subject because of my past videos that I've done, because obviously that's not what this is about. This is about RWBY. And obviously at the time when that was going down, Death Battle was still owned by a completely different company. It was not owned by Rooster Teeth yet. They hadn't merged yet. So it was a completely different time anyways. They were still called Screw Attack back then. So that was a completely different issue, and it really doesn't really kind of relatate in there, but I felt like I should bring that up for me as a content creator, delving into the past of people that actually now work at Rooster Teeth. But nonetheless, I'm not the only person that they have done this to, though. They've done this to people that I know are credible people that get blocked from making reaction videos. Now, one of the things that Twin Inc. had made, you know, she made a statement about how made a statement about a tweet that she made that she regretted about someone spoiling stuff about Rooster Teeth. This actually, I mean, maybe she could have said it more nicely, I guess, but I actually agreed with what she said. Because you don't, you know, as someone who's not a first member of Rooster Teeth, I don't want to know what happened until the next week. I have to disable my comments like a week ahead of time just so I don't get comments from other YouTubers that decide to be a-holes and comment spoilers. Because I'm reviewing the episode a week before, you know, when they're reviewing the new episode, because they're a week ahead. I don't like that. I do not like when people do that. And people do this also with Death Battle, too. You know, Death Battle will have the episode out like a couple of days before or whatnot, and people will then spoil the outcomes. I hate when people do that. If you do that, you're a dick. I'm sorry, you are. Because you know full well that people don't want to know. And, you know, and I'm not talking about like on Twitter or anything like that. I'm talking about like, you know, on YouTube or something, like a comment. Like if you're commenting on my video, like, and you know knowingly that I'm watching it a week before, you know, which I advertise that all the time, that I'm not a first member and that I have not seen the episode. do not spoil it, okay? And this is why I have to disable the comments until the actual episode comes out, so people can't do that, okay? And that pisses me off that I have to do that people can't not actually be considerate and actually only comment about the topic of RWBY. But again, that is just my past experiences of what I've noticed from RWBY. And again, the last season, I only did a handful of the episodes because after dealing with the community guideline strike that I got, I could not review the next couple episodes. I picked it back up once all the confusion had ended, but still, it didn't feel really complete because I didn't get to review all the episodes. But from my own personal experience, one of the big things, and this was brought up in the video from Twins Inc., is the Bumblebee thing. Okay, I'm not a fan of Bumblebee. I have given my 2 cents on the flaws of it, and anytime I do this, we get people that are like, oh, well, you just don't know how that particular ship works or how that writing works. You know, they'll refer me to some other YouTuber, okay? And then I'll refer them to another YouTuber that disagrees with their opinion. And Twin brought this up that no one, you know, both opinions are valid based on the way you perceived the show. She brought that up, and I thought that was a great point to have brought that up. Now, I've given my piece on Bumblebee. I don't think it was developed correctly. It didn't make sense, especially since it felt like Sun Wukong was more developed to be with Blake, especially after Volume 5, which I'll bring this up too because she also mentioned this about, you know, outside of volumes 1 through 3, you know, all the other volumes are trash, basically. And I'm not going to say all the volumes after Monty Ohms were great because they weren't, in my opinion. I will say one thing. Volume 5, which a lot of people hate Volume 5, I actually thought out of all the volumes that happened since Season 3, since Volume 3, okay, not counting volumes 1 through 3, okay, I think, in my opinion, Season 5 was the best volume post-Monty Ohms, okay? That was the best volume. Again, that's excluding 1 through 3, okay? Because obviously 1 through 3 were much better than all of 4 through 8, okay? But Volume 5 I thought was the best one out of all the new ones since Miles fully took over, okay? And, you know, the way they brought that together, you know, they really made it seem like Blake and Sun were going to be a thing, and then they just, gone type deal. That was really bad writing. You know, and then, of course, egging the fandom on, like, oh, this is going to actually happen, or I should say baiting the fandom, you know, baiting. Oh, yeah, this is going to happen. And then, oh, wait, no, it's not going to happen. You know, make up your mind. Either do it or don't. Don't freaking give people hope that this is going to actually happen and then it doesn't. You know, I didn't like that whole development. But some of my experiences with some of the people that are decisive on it is just that, you know, well, if you don't like it the way you like, they're doing it, then you're not a real fan. I don't believe that. And I still, despite me not really liking sort of the direction that they've headed into with the last couple of stuff that they've done, especially when they killed off Penny. Everybody knows I hated that decision. Everyone knows I'm not a fan. Well, I wasn't a fan of Penny being the maiden to begin with because it made no sense. Like I made a video about this, how much it's a plot hole, you know, they tried to retcon that by doing the whole genie thing with the genie being introduced and whatnot, to try and retcon that, but at the same time they made it even worse. And I made a video talking about this, so I don't really want to get more into details about it, but you guys can go check that out if you haven't seen it. But that's been my biggest issue with the way they've gone with the directions of these characters, because a lot of these characters are really good, and I just think the way they're going about it is all wrong. And you know, I tell it as it is. Everyone who's seen my channel and have seen the way I do my videos, I am always probably the most consistent on my stance on things. And that is that I will tell you as it is. I will tell you how I think. I will not do some, you know, oh, I'm just going to like it for the sake of liking it. I'm just going to not criticize things that I don't like. One of my favorite character in the show, okay, which, you know, guys, I met Barbara. I got her autograph. I even got a voice recording, which is on this YouTube channel, by the way. Okay, who's the voice of Yang Xiaolong, voice actor Yang Xiaolong. Okay, that was my favorite character in the show. The thing is Yang. Okay, let me ask you guys this right now. Why do you guys like Yang Xiaolong? What was the characteristics of Yang Xiaolong that you liked, that made you like that character? The puns, right? The puns, the carefree. When's the last time she done it? When's the last time she's done it in the series? It's non-existent, isn't it? Yang is not the same character she used to be, and her character has really fallen down, in my opinion, in quality for the way she acts now. And that's the one thing that has disappointed me about Yang as a character as of late. And you guys know that Yang is my favorite character in the whole show because I've literally, like I said, I met Barbara. I posted it on my Twitter, you know, the picture I had with her when, you know, I went to the convention, when I went down to Toronto, Canada, to see that, which I remember that because that was when I got to meet Sean Schimmel, you know, driving 2 hours down from the United States to Canada to meet her, you know, from New York to Canada because I live in New York, you know, to meet her and Sean, you know, mainly Sean Schimmel because I wanted to meet the voice of Goku, but you know, because he's my favorite character of all time. But I got to meet Barbara and you know, her voice, you know, the voice she performs as is Yang, you know, her doing a voice recording. So I like Yang. It's my favorite character in RWBY. But I don't like the direction the character has gone because the way they have written the characters as of late, they have been doing next to nothing, and really their personality traits are not the same that they used to be. Like I said, Yang doesn't really do any puns. She doesn't really stand out as much anymore as she used to as a character. And that's the one thing that's really bothered me about a lot of these characters and a lot of the directions they've gone. When they brought Penny back, I genuinely thought when Penny came back, that was going to be a step in the right direction. You know, because I had been saying that Penny never really died, only her legs were cut off. She's a robot. So she can just they can just rebuild her legs. I had said that, and then Penny finally came back. I was stoked that Penny came back because I wanted her to come back. I liked Penny. But then they made her the maiden, which made no logical sense. And I explained that already, why it made no logical sense. But then of course she lost the maiden powers at the end, which begs the question: what was even the point to begin with of her being the maiden? But again, you'll get people that just will be toxic about, oh, this, it makes sense, or this is how it is, and again, I still watch RWBY. I will still watch RWBY when it comes out. But it's not going to be something where I'm like, oh my god, this was so great, because it's not the same. It's really not even the same show it used to be. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if that comes from Monty not being around, unfortunately, anymore, because Monty was, great at what he did. Or if it's just that, they just don't know where they want to go with it. But, people attacking each other over, most things I've seen is ships, which I don't really, obviously I have my preference when it comes to shipping characters. Obviously, we all do. We're all biased to what ships we want to happen. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say that the ships should at least make sense to why they're happening, and not just based off of fan pressure of like, oh, well, this is gonna be canon, whether you like it or not. I remember the debates before, I guess Blake and Yang are together. I guess they're together officially, I guess now. But I remember before, they held hands or whatever, that people would argue, about, oh, it has to be canon, it's going to be canon, not just because, we want it to be, or whatever. I remember this, and then there were, guys, obviously the Blake and Sun Wukong shippers, which again, I did ship Blake and Sun together, but I remember the fighting that was going on about that, and it was just one of those things where it was like, can we at least get a good story first, though? Can we at least get a good story first? I'd rather get the storyline. I'd rather get the storyline right, okay, before we have a successful ship pairing, okay? And I think most people just focus on the ships now these days than the actual story, and that's one of the biggest issues I think also is going on with RWBY, is we don't have enough people talking about the overall story, than anything else. Like I said, when it comes to RWBY as, the fans itself, I do think it needs to kind of simmer down, especially on social media, because it's getting way too chaotic. I hope that it will eventually get to that point. I doubt it ever will. But I feel like it's something that is a good thing to talk about, and I'm glad Twin Inc. made a video about this. Um, like I said, there's some YouTubers that I'm not too fond of that were featured in there, but it is something I think needs to be talked about. I've given my piece and my opinion on it. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is something that needs to be conversation. I don't know if she's going to be making another video on this or something like that. I think she was saying that it was going to be some type of series or something that she was going to do. I don't know. But I seen that video and I just wanted to kind of give my 2 cents on it, because it kind of made me think about, like, yeah, there's been a lot of serious issues with RWBY that it's really weird, because I don't think I'm the biggest like RWBY person out there. You know, obviously, you know, Dragon Ball Z is kind of what most people watch my videos for. Is Dragon Ball Z stuff or versus stuff. But I do try, you know, to do RWBY and stuff like that. I try to do, like, one thing that's been my biggest issue with YouTube videos is I really do try to do other things, even if stuff isn't necessarily working in terms of viewer count. I actually try. Sometimes it just doesn't work, but I still go out there and do it because it's stuff that I genuinely like, and I want to cover stuff that I want to cover, not necessarily what other people want to cover or what drives the algorithm. You know, if I get the algorithm and the videos that I like, then that's a plus. But I want to talk about the stuff I want to talk about. That's kind of how I am. But yeah, I mean, I think it centers around a lot of aspects, not just the storytelling, the writing process, but I think it goes up top to Rooster Teeth and some of the things that, not so great things that have been done up there, obviously with the animation whole deal where, they didn't pay their employees overtime. I felt that was very disrespectful with all the work those guys have done, guys and women have done. And there's been a lot of stories that have come out, whether they're true or not, I don't know. But there's a lot of things that have come up about Rooster Teeth and the way they operate a lot of their stuff. And it's very unfortunate because, again, it's a show. I still, regardless, have supported the show. I watch the show on their website every time it comes up. So, and as I showed at the beginning of this video, obviously I have RWBY merchandise. So, I don't want to hear this, oh, I'm not, like, fan or knowledgeable about the situation about RWBY, because I am. So, that's kind of where I stand on it. I'd like to know what you guys think about this. Comment, rate. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for all the latest contents. And that's really about it. That's really what I gotta say. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.